Ready Malice here again with another video, and in this one, we're doing a general overview of the Death Guard Codex. Now, we've reviewed all the detachments individually, so let's go into an overall couple of minutes impressions of the book. Now, again, I'll put my cards on the table. Death Guard are one of my favourite Astartes legions in any form, be it in back in the Horus Heresy on going into 40k now. I've always had a thing for the Death Guard, so there is a bit of bias in there, but I really do like this book. If I wasn't locked into Custodes and Necrons, I'd be starting the Death Guard army. There's just a lot to like about everything in here. There's detachments to suit every playstyle, though equally they've also paid homage to a lot of the lore of the Death Guard, that they were primarily an infantry force. They're just the slow, relentless march. We'll take the worst of what you want to throw at us, because we'll throw it right back at you. And that's reflected in just how goddamn tough these dudes are. I mean, it's saying tougher than the $2 steak, tougher than boot leather. Yeah, I've got the 40k version of that. Tougher than the Death Guard. I mean, these dudes take tough to a whole other level. They are ridiculously tanky. I mean, as a Custodes player, it's not very often I have to roll 5s to wound stuff. 4s or 5s to wound stuff, I should say. It's just like, yeah, that gives an indication of just how tough they are. The detachments, 6 good detachments supporting a variety of playstyles. Some, admittedly, I prefer more than others. My personal favourite is the Death Lord's Chosen. If I had to pick a silver medal, it would probably be the Champions of Contagion. But all in all there's detachments that fit every playstyle. You like your vehicles, you've got Mortarian's Hammer. You like your demons, you've got the Taliban Summoners. You like your Poxwalkers, you've got the Shambulwat Victorium. So there's a lot of it that can cover pretty much most play styles out there, and then they can take a lot of punishment, they can deal a lot of punishment. I mean, the newest edition, the Lord of Poxers, is an absolute beast in melee. You're not exactly expecting to get whacked with a strength 8 weapon amongst its other abilities. And then you've got all the other Death Guard lords. You've got the Lord of Virulence, who hits pretty hard. You've got the Lord of Contagion that hits hard. You've got the Blight Lord Terminators with all their utility, but can be made to hit right hard whichever way you build them. Death Shrouds don't need an introduction. Plague Marines, well, if you want something to hold an objective, they're your Astartes to do it, because just with how tough they are not going to shift for anyone. And then we come to the big man himself, Mortarion. Now, if we take all 4 of the Traitor Legion, the God Traitor Legion Codexes, I should say, if we're factoring in everything into one package, and with no hint of bias here, because I am an unabashed Death Guard fanboy, Mortarion is the best of the bunch. He hits like a truck. He can take pretty much whatever you want to throw at him. Yes, he can't compete with Magnus in the space wizardry, but he's still pretty decent at it. And if that doesn't work, he has a miniature last cannon in his pocket. So Mortarion is an animal, and I think that's the whole thing with this book is A lot of the time in previous editions, Death Guard have been tough, but also quite pillow-fisted. They didn't really have much in the way of a knockout punch, if you like. Now, they've got that durability in spades, and they have a knockout punch to back it up. So, as a Death Guard fan, I love it. As somebody who probably somebody who'll at some point in the future, no doubt, be across the table from a Death Guard army, I'm not looking forward to my Golden Boys having to fight these dudes. But that will come in the fullness of time, and indeed, that wraps up my sort of overview, nutshell overview of the Death Guard Codex. So, what do you guys think of it? If you do you play Death Guard and are you enjoying it? Have you played against Death Guard and you're cursing their existence of how tough they are, and just like, oh, it's a similar annoyance to dealing with Necrons, just in an entirely different way? As always, let me know in the comments, and I shall catch you guys in a future video. Bye.